Well, on Friday, the day that Donald Trump announced he had the coronavirus, a middle school teacher in Tacoma, Washington, a beautiful place that used to be pretty reasonable, asked his students a question. The teacher is a man called Brendan Stanton, wanted to know whom they admired. A 10-year-old responded in the chat room, quote, Donald Trump. Brendan Stanton immediately kicked the kid out of the virtual class. Here's what happened.
The example that was shared in the chat, which I went ahead and erased for us, was not appropriate, right? Especially as that individual has created so much division and hatred between people, and specifically spoken hatred to many different individuals, okay? So I do apologize for kicking you out of the conference. Again, that individual has spoken hate to many individuals, and I don't think is an appropriate example for a role model. We should be admiring.
You say who?
Okay, with that being said.
So somebody expresses a view that you disagree with, and you call it hate and then attack the kid, a 10-year-old boy. The boy's mother asked Stanton about this. He tried to deny it happened. The teacher responded, quote, I try to keep politics out of the classroom, liar. So how much propaganda like this is going on in our classrooms that we don't see? Jason Rantz is a Seattle radio show host. We're always happy to have him. Jason, it's hard to believe, I mean, that's America, where you're supposed to have freedom of speech. It's supposed to be a free country. What happened exactly?
What happens in Tacoma is happening all across the country. This isn't happening in a bubble. And right now, I think a lot of people are learning about it because of the remote learning situation. In this case, the parent happened to be there and decided to film it, thankfully. And of course, when she called the professor or this middle school teacher out over the phone, as you said, he denied it. But then she said, actually, I've got it on video. And then all of a sudden, the conversation started to change. We have so many teachers out there right now who, instead of teaching how to think, they're teaching kids what to think. And parents need to get engaged so they can push back at this propaganda.
Right. Well, that's exactly right. I mean, these are children. These are people who can't even vote. I mean, they're kids. You're not supposed to do this to kids. Speaking of fascism, why do parents put up with this?
Well, for the longest time, they put up with it because they don't really know. They didn't know what was going on. But when your kid is right now on their laptop or in the computer in the living room and they're doing this, and all of a sudden you hear in the back of the room, like, what did that teacher just say? There's not just anti-Trump nonsense going on, but it's anti-police. And I've seen a lot of that, again, all across the country. And parents are starting to wake up and realize what's happening in these classrooms. It's a reminder that when they go back to class, make sure you're talking with your kids daily, which you should be doing anyway, but ask them about their day and ask them what they're being taught. My experience has been when teachers hear from these parents or when they contact the principal, for the most part, there's some movement. In this case, of course, the school just has not responded to any of our inquiries.
I said that so judgmentally. Why do parents put up this? But I think about it, I mean, I've got children, and I've certainly put up with a lot of it, actually, over the years. And that was a huge mistake. Teachers need to know, most teachers are good people, I think, but they need to know that there's oversight and that there are boundaries, and you're not allowed to torment and propagandize children, I think. Don't you?
Yes, set the boundaries quickly, and I think that when you are clear with the expectations coming from these parents, I think the teachers, for the most part, because I agree with you, the vast majority of teachers are good people, and that is not their intent to propagandize. But even sometimes they don't realize what they're doing, and so you got to make sure that they know that you're watching everything that they're doing. And of course, you can have conversations about issues with kids who are of age, but when a 10-year-old is saying they support Trump, maybe we should encourage more of that.
I think that's right. They need to know adults are watching, because many of them are not adults. I mean, they're of age, but
they claim to be.
They're psychologically and emotionally children, unfortunately. Jason Rantz, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tucker.